Can see clearly to the bottom. You'd be able to see if there's fish. All the ducks are over there. Have to get closer. Well, time to go home. Don't know if we were ahead of the big orange laker or behind it, but might see some cool things to photograph on our way home. But for now, I don't want to slip off this path into the water on either side. There. Or there. It's deep, cold water. And the wind is like windy enough to almost blow me. Look at that. Hey, that's cool. There you go. Watch what I'm photographing, guys. So I have my phone here. The iPhone is on my live right now on my podcast called I Did Podcast. And then on my Samsung, my everyday phone that I love so much, this is live on my personal YouTube channel. So I got 2 different YouTube channels going. But isn't that a cool view of those boathouses through the rusty hole? This is me, guys. And I was on my way home, and it just took me seeing a big orange laker passing beside me on the road for me to go, I'm going to go and try to see it go through the locks. But if you check my... Sorry about the awkward angle. If you check my personal YouTube channel and Facebook channel, my Facebook's under my name, Shana Cook, S-H-N-A, Cook, C-O-O-K, TheCanukGypsy. If you check my Facebook channel and my other earlier shorts or YouTube lives, I'll show you the ducks before I scare them off. I don't want them to go away because it's nighttime. They need to they need to be in a cove like that to be safe. I don't know how their little legs don't freeze off. But you'll see the beginning of the Lakers passing on the water. You'll get to see what I'm talking about. And I thought I could see the tall tower of one of them coming through the islands, because there's a whole bunch of islands they have to maneuver. So I thought maybe it's coming, but I don't know. I could see it flashing anyways, but it could just be the island marker or like a satellite tower too. Anyhow, thank you for hanging out. Let me know where you're watching from. How warm or how cold is it? Got my young blood hoodie on. You'll get to understand what this whole journey was a while ago, but I do love photography. I used to carry around my Nikon camera everywhere I went. I actually still have it. It's probably outdated, but eventually I'm going to get a real camera. But this is I Did Podcast. This is my podcast channel. It's ID Podcast. See, there we go. How do I... And then there we go. This is my personal channel, ID Podcast. The podcast channel, guys, basically I want to let you know I have 5 guests that have been interviewed, professionally videographed with a 4K camera and a whole bunch of different microphones and different things. Unfortunately, it didn't get edited, so I think as soon as I'm supposed to have those interviews, the cameraman was supposed to have given me them onto a hard drive that I had bought so that I could now try to either edit the interviews or at least just film them live and raw. And from now on, every guest on I Did Podcast is going to be filmed live, just like this, unedited, no cuts, you know. It'll be obviously better camera quality and it'll be all set up. But this is fun, I think, to just see what people see through my eyes. And I try to share things with you guys so that if you're at home or you don't live by the water, and look at all the ducks. I'm going to turn this around. Let me turn it around and try to zoom in. Let me turn this around. Whoa. I try to, I don't know. Go out of there. There we go. I tried to bring you guys, you know, cool things. And I do love photography. And if I had a good camera, I could zoom right in and capture their beautiful feathers and colors. I do not want to go over and disturb them to get any... Look how many mallard ducks are there. How many male and females. They usually are in pairs. Like, see in the water right there. There's a pair. They like to be male and female. They pair up, and there's a little group coming from one side to the other, but they're all going to hover into this little piece of ice here. I have no idea why they wouldn't come underneath a tree. That would just make more sense to me. Like, you know, come and nest under one of these trees right there, like, and then a bunch of them under a big tree like that. They'd melt the snow, they'd be out of the wind instead of being on open exposed ice all night long. Does not make sense to me. I have no idea why they haven't figured that out. If I was a mallard duck, I'd be hunkering it down right under that big old tree right there. Out of the wind, you know, up and in. But I guess for easy getaway and for protection, they know that predators won't come on thin ice like they are sitting on. Where did they go? There they go. Predators like, you know, a coyote or a fox likely won't come onto that ice because they know it's too thin for their body weight. So they know they're safe. But how cold that must be. Oh my gosh. How cold that must be. Here come a couple more in for a night's landing. Get settled down. I love hearing them. So this is where we're at. Let me know where you're watching from. I'm in Ontario, Canada, and let me know where you're watching from, and hopefully you enjoyed it. If you could, I don't want to be tacky, but please subscribe, guys. Please hit the thumbs up button and take a minute and just share this to someone, even if they don't watch it. Share it out, because the more people like, and look at the beautiful sun is setting. The more people like and comment and share, it's just how YouTubers are able to monetize. But once I get those guests figured out and streamed on live, all the new guests that are already waiting to be on the podcast. I've got musicians, artists who are musicians, and painters, photographers. I've got models. I've got people who've got incredible stories as entrepreneurs. And I've also got, battery warning. And I also have people who just have an amazing story. So the podcast is going to be filled with live, raw interviews of just real people who've got a real cool story to share. It's going to be inspirational. It's going to be uplifting. And I can't wait to share that with you guys and really launch it the way it's supposed to be. But you can still head over to I Did Podcast on YouTube, and you can still head over to my channel, Shana Piché Cook, TheCanukGypsy. Is my YouTube handle, and on Facebook, Shana Cook, and you'll get to see the beginning of this journey, what led me to these waters, just simply driving home, minding my own business at like 2:30, and here I am on this adventure. But I hope you enjoyed it. I'll just focus on the ducks for you one more time, let you see where we're at, zoom out. And once I get those interviews, guys, the people, I can tell you this. I can tell you that it's a CEO of a modeling agency who's got agencies in Los Angeles, New York, Toronto, as well as Ottawa. Very good close friend of mine, Angie Sakala Seymour. I got to interview her as my very first I Did podcast guest. You'll see her incredible home, which actually, you guys know Deadpool. He is building, Ryan Reynolds is building, he is building right in the same neighborhood. He's got a new home, and she was in the construction of the building, so she might probably have an into, maybe possibly even getting an interview with him. Can you imagine Deadpool? Oh my god, I think I would pass out, like, and then wake up and pass out. I don't know, I don't even know how that would go. I'm thinking of it now. Anyway, guys, and you know what, I have surgery coming up in January, so I'm gonna have a little bit of like real rest time where I won't be as active for a little bit, but I hope to get ice fishing as soon as the waters aren't open as much. I've fished on thin ice, but I'm not as crazy as I used to be. But hopefully we'll get some ice fishing done. Valentine's Day is the Long Sioux Hooples Creek Fishing Derby, so hopefully I will be live and there for the day. I'll be streaming live on both these channels. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. And I'm upgrading my phone, so if I upgrade my phone, hopefully I'll be able to stream live on TikTok as well as streaming live on both my channels. But I Did Podcast is basically going to be guest interviewed. It won't be as many live streams as of me, but I don't quite know. But the whole premises of the channel was interviewing guests, and listening to their stories. And once I get to launch, and I've got the diamond jeweler Andre Pommier's interview. He's amazing. I have he's in a generational jewelry and diamond store locally. I have the local comic book store owner and Cape organizer, which Cape is like Comic-Con, Randy Sauvé. He actually worked for my dad when I was young, so we used to work together because I used to have to work when I was a child, and we used to we bought out a franchise called Hickory Farms and had something called the Corner Cupboard, which I had my little apron that was embroidered with simple sewing embroidering that you would have had to manipulate the material under the needle because there was no like embroidery machines like we have today. But basically, he was working there for my dad, and I grew up serving ice cream and working in the deli on the corner of our property. So Randy went on to own comic book stores. So his interview is really super cool because you get to hear what his coolest comic books are of a comic book store owner, and he used to have multiple comic book stores. So he's been collecting for decades and decades and decades, so as long as I've known. So, story short, and then we have a lavender farm who we were interviewing when a hurricane warning came in. So we were supposed to have purple lavender lemonade and like this beautiful scenery with wagons and flowers and pick my own lavender. And the storms came in, and the owners were rushing to get all their equipment, and it was the end of the season, so they were taking everything down, their little shop, everything, which if I would have interviewed them the day before or hours earlier, it would have been a different scene. But we did get to talk to them a bit, get some of that on, which is pretty kind of cool at the end of the day. She didn't want to do the interview, but I'm like, hey, we came a long way, and I had to hire this camera person. And well, like it was a consensual agreement that the work was going to be done for the channel in trade for getting recognition once the channel hit large, as well as utilizing sorry, I gotta shut this, man. As well as utilizing um the channel to he wanted to do like a TV series, like a cable community channel, so he could have used those interviews on the channel as well, but they would have been through the podcast, you know what I mean? So things just didn't work out because the videographer did not edit the videos, and after 5 interviews and 8 months later, I was like, this podcast was supposed to launch right after the interview, and I felt like I was failing the people who I interviewed, although they know me personally. Everyone except the lavender farm owners don't know me, but everybody else that was interviewed. And there was a book author who also is someone who ran a podcast or still does, and I was a multiple guest on there, and the only guest that wasn't behind a desk and in an office. I was out in nature each time I was on the podcast. One time coming home caught in a severe snowstorm, and I actually stopped at the north and south equator line sign, and my boots had gotten so wet and cold when I was driving. I had my boots off, so whenever she was on this reunion, and there was multiple guests, and it was hours long, and all of a sudden she called me, and I turned off at that exit almost home, but it was funny to stop at the equator sign. I thought that was pretty cool, but I had no shoes, and I got out in the snow barefoot, so I'm pretty sure I was the only guest who did that. And once she awarded me like most natural crazy, like adventurous guest. So that's kind of always been me, guys. But I hope you do follow my personal channel. I hope you guys do follow I Did Podcast. I hope to soon, at least by February, March, have all the interviews launched, if not sooner. But that's like probably I'm being realistic, because I don't know how to work the computer, and I don't even know if my computer can handle the hard drive. But what I want to do is just watch those interviews on the hard drive, even though they're shot from multiple camera angles with multiple microphones. Hopefully it's audible enough to utilize. If not, those people will hopefully agree to being re-interviewed live, raw, with multiple live streaming cameras going, so that we don't lose the interview and don't need to edit or wait. It launches the day that the person is interviewed. So that is the goal, and that is the guest. That is what's hopefully going to happen. So you guys have been with me for a long time. My battery is going, so I'm going to let you both go. Thank you for joining me. Let me know once again where you're watching from. Sorry I can't answer all your questions because I need glasses to read. I'm freezing cold. I'm just trying to get a little bit of a story out. The ducks are all coming in. It is getting very dark. The sun has set. I don't think we have any more sunset to see. So I'm going to let y'all go. Hope you had a good time. Thanks for being with me, and stay warm and safe. Peace out till next time. Cheers. Boy. Cold. I dropped you. I did podcasts. My hands are so cold. I feel